There's apple throwing.
Oh my Christ.
You could throw apples to try to lure them out.
So what is it? Just people standing around throwing apples at a shrub, waiting for a little hairy man to come out and grab them?
Well, there's live music too, so
Yeah, that's what I want. That's throw apples at a bush and listen to a Dave Matthews cover band.
Welcome to the Conspiracy Kitchen.
what's going on, guys? Thank you for joining us in the Conspiracy Kitchen, where we attempt to find the secret ingredients behind life's daily mysteries. I'm Joe, and as always, I'm accompanied by my Susef Josh.
Hi.
And back by popular demand, we heard you. The special on the menu is cryptids, with a little Pennsylvania flair, I guess we could say. And of course, we'll talk about if Josh can or cannot beat the shit out of him.
What is this? What is this cannot business?
Well, I think there is one that I'm going to talk about tonight that I don't think you can beat up. I don't think you can do anything to him.
We'll see.
I honestly don't think there's no way. All right. So I guess we'll start with a little funny one. I mean, to be honest, most of Pennsylvania's cryptids don't seem scary or don't really harm people. So for some reason, Pennsylvania has nice cryptids. Or, well, they could be dicks, but they're not going to harm you. So we'll start with this first one I kind of find fascinating. The Albatwitch, which translates to apple snitch. Now, it's a little 4-foot tall, hairy humanoid. And he likes to steal the apples from picnickers. And this is all we really hear about him. He comes from Native American folklore with a little bit of Pennsylvania Dutch mixed in. He's been seen as recently as the 2020s, so he's still being seen, or there's even multiple ones of him. And he dates back all the way to the 1800s. If we go back to the 1800s, a farmer saw him and described it as a little wild man darting up the tree with an armful of apples. So kind of weird. He was described by folklorists like Charles Adams III as a part Sasquatch, part trickster midget. So I guess we have that going for him. But other than that, I mean, he's just mischievous. He steals apples and from picnickers and runs off. He's kind of a cheeky guy.
That's the most annoying thing I've ever heard.
He just happens to be extremely annoying. So
He's just a hairy dwarf stealing apples and running up trees. What is he doing?
is that a cryptid?
He's a pesky little man.
Hey,
Get out of here, you pesky thing. Go on.
He's I guess if we want to go to the Susquehanna River Valley, that's where we're gonna find them. It could be a bunch of them. Now, apparently, they're kind of dying off because of deforestation. They're blaming less sightings, but still seeing them, but not as many sightings. So I guess there's like a group of these, or it could be a whole, species of midget Sasquatch thief running around. But deforestation, they're blaming deforestation, farming, and just, more modern times killing off these little scumbags, if you will. And there's not much left. You see a couple sightings here and there, but nowhere near as much as like the early 1900s, the late 1800s, all the way up until like the 1970s when we've seen a lot of things like this.
So, I'm sorry, there's multiple of these little assholes?
Yeah, so they think...
Fun.
No, so it seems to be it is a group or like a species of midget or something, or some kind of hairy being, multiple, yes. And they steal your apples. They travel usually alone, but sometimes in packs. And once they get their apples, they just run off. They scamper off into the woods and the underbrush and disappear. They just, addicted to produce and stealing of the produce.
Like, I love a good apple. On a nice summer day, a nice juicy apple's delicious. And if you're telling me that there's a plethora of these hairy dwarves stealing them. I endorse deforestation. Get rid of him. Fuck. Turn it into a parking lot. Live there, stupid.
You don't like these things?
Oh, fuck them. Stealing my apples. Who do you think you are?
So you would definitely engage in a fight with this thing if it tried to steal you have a nice picnic set up, you got your picnic blanket set up, you and your wife are out there, nice day, you got apples, I don't know, will they take your apple pie if you have an apple pie? I'm not sure. Just, you would engage in this thing? You would fight it?
It would get drop kicked so fast. It would go flying.
He's only like 4 foot tall.
Yeah, I'd wear my good kicking shoes, and I would just lay into it. And fucking away it goes.
Off into the distance.
Yeah.
He's not taking apples from you.
Not taking shit from me.
So you think this thing's real? You think these pack of apple stealers are real?
I hope so. I want to kick it.
It's almost like here in New Jersey we have that road. I forgot the name of it. It's leaving my mind, but maybe talk about it in another episode. Those the albino midgets that throw rocks at your car if you slow down. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. I like them. They're kind of great.
You slow down. I think it's over in Tinton Falls, if I'm not mistaken, but maybe we'll get into it in another episode. But yeah, it's kind of similar, except for they steal instead of being complete pieces of shit.
Suppose, but I don't know. Our little guys are cheeky and fun. Their little guys steal apples and run up trees. Yeah. Fuck them.
So how is this thing climbing a tree with an armful of apples?
It's part Sasquatch, right? So don't Sasquatch,
I guess they could.
I don't know. I could be looking at Sasquatch all wrong, but don't they have like feet and hands of like ape creatures almost?
Yes, they said this thing could be ape-like in a way, primate-like. So I guess it has like feet that are like more like a monkey or a primate, and they can grab the tree as they go up. And I guess it only needs three points of contact to get up the tree. Maybe it seems possible.
They just eat the apples and laugh at you because you can't climb that tree. Fucking little. Anyway.
You got any other like Bigfoot ones? Because I feel like Pennsylvania has a decent amount of like Bigfoot-esque cryptids.
I do. I have the white Bigfoot or the albino Bigfoot, which is it's just Bigfoot with privilege, I think. The sightings go back to the 70s. Ties in with UFOs, which caught me off guard because a lot of people, the sightings all are the same. They see it in the this made me laugh, and I had to add it to my notes. There was one sighting in particular. There was 2 girls. This is in 73 in Beaver County, and they witnessed an 8-foot-tall, white-haired beast holding a glowing orb, and it just took off into the woods. Now, I don't know what that orb thing is all about. Probably could have left that out of the story and it would be just as interesting. But then it goes into another story. Same year, there's a guy, Stephen Pulaski, and it was him along with 15 other witnesses, and they were in a field, as you do in Pennsylvania. You just hang out in fields. And they witnessed a large dome-like object about 100 foot in diameter fly overhead and hover in the field. And then, according to the account, it landed and opened up, and they were met by several of these large white Bigfoot.
Oh, there's multiple.
Apparently there's multiple. It's just like the pesky little ones. There's a race of these big white ones, too. All with phenomenal credit scores. So...
All right.
Anyway. And then there's another story. A woman shot at him, and it just kind of fucked off into the woods in a flash of light. But yeah, that's a white Bigfoot.
So, I'll the orb thing. We can go back to that because remember the Sasquatch, Bigfoot, the brown one, like the one the U.S. sees, the full one.
The OG Bigfoot, yes.
The OG. They're transdimensional. There's a theory they're transdimensional, right?
Yeah, I was hoping
That's
you
the
would
theory.
bring that up because as soon as I saw the orb thing in UFOs tie-ins, I was like, wait a minute, there's some credibility to the
There
transdimension.
is credibility. Now the orb. What if it's a plasma ball, right? So then you have this plasma that's able to manipulate the space time around it, and that's how he goes from dimension to dimension. He teleports through a wormhole that's created by this plasma ball, i.e., the videos going around that like Ashton Forbes is pushing of what happened to MH370, the flight with the 3 plasma balls that open up the portal and shoot the plane through it.
Yeah.
Maybe these Bigfoot, the white ones, and I guess the brown ones, but we don't see them with orbs. But these white ones we see with the orbs, they're using these plasma balls to traverse dimensions or to teleport to different locations.
Not to be a total nerd, but kind of like the rings in Sonic the Hedgehog.
Or like the rings in Sonic the Hedgehog.
Except it's a big foot.
See? So I think that orb was important to the story.
I can't imagine a big ape man with an orb. What are you doing?
He's trans-dimensional. He's teleporting with it.
I'd love to get to the bottom of that. Why? I feel like they would have better things to do than just kind of like flop around in the woods.
Yeah, if they're smart enough to harness plasma energy to manipulate space-time or create wormholes, you would think they would do more with their lives than when they come to this planet than just hide in the woods and pretend to scare people or stink really bad. And unless it's just them observing and studying us, but still, it's like, what the fuck you doing?
I like to think that it ties into the what was the short one called?
The Albatwitch?
The About Which. I like to think the About Which are their children, and the full size Bigfoots are just trying to find them. And
So
just-
the kids got out. They're being scumbags. They're running around. It's past dinner time. They're out stealing apples and being, mischievous. And now the white and Bigfoot or the OG Bigfoot are out looking for them. They trans-dimensioned and now they have to go find them.
yeah, I mean this is Amish country, right? Maybe they're on Rumspringa.
So they ran. That's why the Bigfoot are here to begin with. They're trying to find their Albatwitch, their little kids that escaped. Makes sense.
It's the worst
be a password.
creatures.
Isn't there more Bigfoot, or is that like the most of them?
That's all the Bigfoot do. They just harness orbs and walk around the forest for no reason. And
And stink.
Well, apparently they smell like shit. But then you go to like what is it, the Himalayas, and you got the Yeti.
Yeah.
It's just the big, snowy Bigfoot.
He's like the white Bigfoot too. He like at the Outlaw Pass.
Yeah.
But the Yeti, but this white one in Pennsylvania is not a Yeti because he doesn't like snow, or he could like snow. I mean, they get snow, especially in the mountain areas.
Yeah, they got
A lot of snow. So is he just a Yeti?
Could just be a Yeti.
Could just be. And Yetis, maybe they're transdimensional. They could be transdimensional. Possible.
I guess. But then there's also a Yeti in Monsters Inc. And they well, you know what? They were transdimensional too. They went through that door, didn't they?
Yeah, they had the doors. They were transdimensional.
Yeah.
So
They met
it
the
makes
Yeti
sense.
who's making snow cones and anyway. We're getting way off track here.
So you don't want to go to the Outbatwitch Festival?
What do they do there? Because I know you looked into it. What do they have to offer me?
You don't. What do you mean? They have food.
All right.
I
Apples?
guess. Yeah, I'm assuming they have apples, maybe some apple pie.
Well, for like an hour, and then it all gets stolen, apparently. Hairy little
Yeah,
apple.
maybe it does get stolen, but this year. It's October 11th, 2025. I mean, they say it's a mix of fun. They have live music, food, trolley rides,
Oh, fuck. A good old trolley ride.
paranormal intrigue, whatever that means exactly. And there's apple throwing.
Oh, my Christ.
You could throw apples to try to lure them out.
So, what is it? Just people standing around throwing apples at a shrub, waiting for a little hairy man to come out and grab them?
Well, there's live music too, so.
Yeah, that's what I want. That's throw apples at a bush and listen to a Dave Matthews cover band.
Sounds like a good time.
I'll go. You know what? I'll go. You convinced me.
Yeah. So the next one this one irritates me a little bit. Definitely a ripoff of our boy JD, aka Jersey Devil. The Waterford Sheep Man. So
Sheep man.
the Sheep Man. So it's been seen in the small town of Waterford, Pennsylvania. Only been seen in the 1970s. No accounts of it after or before. This is the only time it's been seen. So it's basically kind of a Jersey Devil. Half human, half goat. The goat-like head. Sometimes they call him Goat Man instead of Sheep Man. Humanoid body, covered in dark fur. And instead of feet, it has hooves, and it had horns on its head. And some people say it has glowing red eyes and claws on its hands. You know, like not any different than our guy. It apparently lives in a cave along Baghdad Road in Waterford. Crazy name.
Baghdad Road.
Southeast of the town.
No one should live on that road. It's like Hitler Road in Ohio. No one should live on it.
So there's one like big encounter with this thing. A young couple, or actually two young couples, were in a Ford Mustang convertible near this covered bridge that's in Waterford. And apparently the thing ambushed the car. The two boys then, however, fought it off and took off in the car with the girls and the thing. There were scratches all over the car. So they said this was proof that the thing was alive. It's around. It scratched the shit out of the car. And that was supposed to be that's the big encounter. I don't know how these two guys fought it off. I'm sorry, the Jersey Devil would have killed both of them instantly.
Yes.
And you have hundreds of sightings just in like the early 1970s, and that's it. Then all of a sudden there's nothing. Gone. So again, they have a nice little tour for them. I mean, they have a sheep man appearance in a haunted house in Waterford. He'll come out for, there's a haunted mansion in Waterford. They have a Halloween tour there. He'll come out and I guess be a dick, but at the haunted house. But yeah, he's in Waterford. There's an old sawmill. That's where the kids got attacked. There's a cave out by Baghdad Road, which is where apparently he freaking lives, down in the cave. I don't know why you just don't go in the cave then if you didn't just get a picture of him. There's no pictures, no nothing. Like, at least we got some pictures of the Jersey Devil. And another thing, which is also very similar to the Jersey Devil, is farmers have said that it's slaughtered their cattle, blame, crops not growing well on him, and he does these ear-piercing screeches at night, and that's it. But again, only the 1970s. Nothing after, nothing before, just during, the groovy time of drugs and nonsense like that, and then we get this thing.
I don't know why, but I feel like when it's only seen at a certain like couple of years. As dumb as it is, it's still a bit more credible than other things that you see for like hundreds of years. I don't know.
Except for the Jersey Devil. The Jersey Devil is hundreds of years old and he's real.
Well, he's buff as shit. He could live as long as he wants to.
Yes. Now, from what I understand, well, unless you go by the wanted poster picture, where his little skinny leg, that's just a mockery of him. He doesn't look like that. Now, the Jersey Devil has visited Pennsylvania. I mean, like we said in our Jersey Devil episode, Bristol PD have reports of them actually shooting at the thing. Could this be some kind of offspring of the Jersey Devil that kind of he left out there in Waterford to mosey around and just kind of like the movie's Bad Ben, like I think it was the third Bad Ben when the Jersey Devil broke into the house and had relations with that woman and she had an offspring. Could this be some kind of Jersey Devil offspring?
I think if it is, it's the kid he didn't want because he left him in the woods.
He left them in Waterford, Pennsylvania. And obviously we know the Jersey Devil doesn't like Pennsylvania. He was there for, a weekend, and he was like, yeah, fuck this shit. I'm
he was
going
there
back.
for a weekend, and they shot him. Doesn't bode well for anybody.
So he just stays in the Pine Barrens. It's nicer.
Yeah, it's not bad.
He doesn't want to deal with the mountains and the Pennsylvanians shooting at him and the horrible pizza that comes from that area. He wants to live in New Jersey. He stays in the Pine Barrens. He gets a good slice and doesn't deal with that crap of being shot by the Bristol PD.
It's so funny you mentioned pizza because our friend, our Call of Duty expert, lives in Pennsylvania, and all the time he will text me, "Hey man, just found the best pizza place." And I know he's lying, so I don't go and visit him.
He's definitely lying because he's living in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And that absolute disgrace of a pizza that he sent me, the Altoona pizza from Altoona, PA, it has American cheese slices on it. And I'm not talking about, it doesn't even look like deli cheese. It looks like someone got some Kraft Singles, which isn't real cheese, and slapped it on top. A pizza crust. It's absolutely an abomination. That is worse than any of these cryptids on this show tonight.
Man,
terrible.
Learn how to make a fucking pizza.
God, come on. It's almost like you want to starve to death. And I've had Pennsylvania pizza. I've had pizza from a place called Pizza Bella. Horrible. And then I made the mistake. I was like, you know what? The pizza's horrible, but I'll get some boneless buffalo wings. This could be edible. It looked like dog food. They can't do anything right when it comes to, and don't get me started on bagels. It's literally bread. It's not a bagel.
Dude, I visited my sister recently, and she picked up a dozen bagels. And New Jersey bakery, you get these bagels, size of your fucking head, delicious.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then you just, oh my God. Then you go anywhere else, any other state, and you get a bagel, and it is just the smallest, crumbliest bag of shit on a plate.
It's basically a bread cut. It's like you took just regular bread, cut it in a circle, and cut a hole out of the middle. It's not a bagel.
It's not. I don't know who told these people how to make bagels, but God damn it.
So if you guys really want a really good bagel, you got to come to New Jersey. If you want a real bagel, you want a real pizza pie, you got to come to New Jersey. What does Pennsylvania do right for food?
You know what? They have, Amish food is good. If you go and get, a sandwich in the Amish country, it's fucking delicious. But that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it. I mean, pretty much. Just some fresh. It's because of how it's fresh food. More of a. It's not. Yeah, like a type of food. Like we just do it better.
I mean, the worst you got to deal with when you go get a sandwich from those people is them staring at you like you're from the future. But other than that, I mean, the food's fucking on point.
Yeah, that's the sheep man, just the offspring of the Jersey Devil that was left behind because he didn't like it, and came back to New Jersey because New Jersey's obviously better, and the Jersey Devil is better than the sheep man. It's much older, much better, and so the sheep man. This is something you could probably kick the shit out of.
I turn him into a nice coat.
Yep.
Just get my shears and kick him in
So
the ass.
you'd march right down there to Baghdad Road, go right in that cave.
Yeah. Right. There's not much to add to that. Go kick the shit out of him in a cave. Come out with a brand new jacket. Looking fresh. You know what? Why don't we have a Jersey Devil Day? All these other states got like the cryptid palooza. Well, I guess because we have a successful hockey team named after him, we don't really need any do it. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. I'm sure we have something down there in the Pine Barrens that I've heard of, but we could probably. I'm sure they do something.
Nothing legal, but
No. What do we got next?
we got the Brynathan Beast.
Oh,
There's or also known as the Montgomery County Monster, described as a dog-man-like beast. Switches from he runs on all fours, but he also stands up on his hind legs. And from every account that I've read that people have seen him, is 7 to 8 feet tall. It's a big bitch, and he's just a werewolf. Just call him a werewolf.
just a werewolf.
It'd be cooler. Say you got a werewolf. I'll respect it. But you got one encounter. And he was really only seen throughout the 90s, I feel. 90s, early 2000s, but it was January in 1990. There was two boys. They were going to play baseball at an open field, and they saw a giant, I don't know why, but they saw a giant dog beast and thought it'd be a good idea to chase after it. Because that's what you do when you see something that could clearly kill you. You just run after it.
Yeah.
And
That's what you do.
Well, I'm better than them.
Okay.
So they're chasing them a bit, and then I guess the monster decides, wait, why am I running? And it turns on them and just starts chasing them. And chases them for a good while, too, and then just takes off into the woods because it got bored with them, I guess. But it never really attacks people. There was another one there in 2006. There was a group of girls walking on Quarry Road, and they saw their account was a large dog man-like beast running towards them. And right as it was about to reach them, it just turned and ran into the woods. So it kind of sounds like a werewolf that just likes to fuck with people. I don't know.
It doesn't kill anyone.
Doesn't kill anyone. I mean, it rummages through people's garbage. I've heard that too. He's just annoying.
So far only Sheepman has attacked someone, but two teenage boys fought it off, and then this thing just rummages through your garbage like some bear or raccoon.
Yeah.
So
it just fucks off into the woods and leaves a mess.
So far, it seems like the Pennsylvania cryptids are soft.
Compared to the Jersey Devil, yeah, they're soft.
Yeah. We haven't even got to the softest one yet, and I think we're going to end the show with the softest one we got.
Yeah, we got to save that one.
He's that's a disaster.
Well,
so we're going to move on to I think my favorite one, if you will. So we'll start with talking about this area in Huntington County, Pennsylvania. It's Raystown Lake. The Army Corps of Engineers completed a dam and lake in 1973. It was man-made. Before that, there was a dam made. It was called the Simpson Lake. Simpson Dam. that was much smaller. It was only about 30 feet tall. The lake at the time was only about 600 acres of space. Now, the new lake that they made is 8,300 acres. It went from being about 20 miles of shoreline to approximately, I don't know, say, what the fuck was it? 110 miles of shoreline. So they made this lake much bigger. The Simpsons made this, the first dam in 1905, basically to provide power for Raystown and provide, like water and to the region. So once that was, and later on in the mid 1950s, the expansion of the town and stuff, they needed more power. So the Army Corps of Engineers came up with this, and they had a new act called the Flood Control Act of 1954, which also helped prepare this dam. And because the dam was aging anyway, it was old, 1905, being probably not the best technology to make this hydroelectric dam. They developed this new dam in 1973. Some of these depths of this man-made lake reach 200 feet. So obviously there's some mystery down there. You can't really see the bottom. It is a murky area. Now, when they built the new dam, all they did was let it flood the prior area. So the old dam is underwater, still there, but it's underwater. You could go on, if you could dive in there, you could see the old communities and buildings, roads are still down there, and there's some debris and stuff floating around in there, sunken boats, fishing gear, stuff like that.
Wait, there's a town underwater?
So it's like Atlantis. So
Shit.
old Raystown, that was around the original dam that was made in 1905, is underwater there. So all they didn't knock it, they didn't demo anything or anything. They just said, fuck it. They made the new dam, flooded the area, and basically just put everything else underwater. And now this new dam creates electricity, obviously much better than the old dam. And you also have this huge lake, which attracts tourism. You got 110 miles of beach, or shoreline and beach, so you can go. I mean, it's not like our beaches in New Jersey, but they got something going on. They can sit around this lake. It is the largest lake that's entirely within the state of Pennsylvania. It's the largest lake for Pennsylvania. So now that lake, you got a kind of a rough estimate of rough idea what the lake is. We'll introduce our boy, Raystown Ray. He kind of is like a Loch Ness Monster, if you will. There is actually a picture of him, which was taken in 2007. I can post it on X. You guys can check it out. They're trying to say it's a stick or a log. It doesn't look like it. It looks like kind of like the Loch Ness Monster. You also have people that refute this, saying, and I don't know how they would do this. It's a speculation. You can't say for sure, but they said long-necked dinosaurs of that style can't pick their neck up and head up that way because their neck wouldn't support it. Well, how the fuck would they know? They don't know. That's just a speculation. So piss off with that fucking explanation.
Yeah.
I think Ray could be real. Now, apparently he doesn't eat meat. He doesn't eat geese. He doesn't eat fish. They say he's a vegetarian. He eats the plant life that's growing around the old town and stuff like that. So again, he's not someone that will hurt you. But he's been seen by a lot of different people. Fishermen see him all the time. And again, they get told, oh no, he saw a carp. Because carp can apparently get to, 25, 30 pounds there. They also have the state record for the largest striped bass in that area, which was almost 54 pounds. So they have big fish, but I can't see someone confusing a serpent-like creature, like the Loch Ness Monster, has that long neck, serpent body with the little flippers. Kind of reminds me of a Lapras from Pokemon, right?
Oh yeah.
So without a shell. So I don't see how people could confuse a fish, especially if you're a fisherman. I thought fishermen kind of knew what a fish looks like, right?
I would hope so.
I would hope so, right? You're a fisherman. So, with that being said, I don't think they're confusing a carp with a serpentine-like creature. There's another picture taken in 2005 and I saw it. I was looking at it before. So besides the one picture taken in 2007, it's from up on a mountain because this basically it's very undeveloped in this area. The Army Corps of Engineers owns basically all the property around the lake as well. So it's actually a beautiful area. Trees, hiking trails, mountainous. And you got the big lake. Someone must be up on the mountain. They look down towards the lake. You can see like a jettison of some kind of island or peninsula coming out. And on the coast of it, as he's going around, you can see this like serpent up under the water, and then his head coming up, like his neck's like, you see pictures of the Loch Ness Monster where he's like out of the water, in the water, out of the water. There's that one. And there's another picture where the guy's closer. He might actually be in a boat. And he looks down, there's this giant, shadowy thing in the water below his boat. And it's hard to tell what it is, but it doesn't appear to be any type of structure or anything because he's just kind of out in the lake. And it's just underneath his boat, moving in kind of like a serpent-esque silhouette. So I think he has some credibility behind him, just like the Loch Ness Monster did. There's some theories behind that I could come up with. Maybe perhaps the Huntington Visitors Bureau could have produced him themselves because they need income. Apparently they get income. They have a tax on any lodging area in the area, and they collect 98% of the tax goes to them for their pay, first of all, to pay themselves. So when you have not as much to do besides this giant lake, I can see them trying to fake something like this to draw attention. Or I guess they could also promote it more if there is sightings of it to get more people to come out there. So I think this thing it might be real, or yeah, I think it's real.
I'll be honest, because I know I talk about fighting cryptids on here. I'm not. I'm often sarcastic a lot, but these pictures I'm looking at them here. The one up on the mountain, especially, it's one of the clearer pictures of a cryptid that I've seen. Like, it's pretty obvious that it's not a fucking log in a river.
No, there's no way that's a log.
No, not at all. And there's actually quite a few pictures of them.
Yeah. I don't. It doesn't seem like it's a log.
No, it's absolutely not a log. What the fuck?
That was the thing to say is, it's a log. But also they kind of argue about this because they're saying that, well, the lake is man-made, so there's no way, and it's man-made in the 70s, 60s, 70s. Well, they started making it in the late 60s. That there's no way it could be this thing because how it had got on there, they made it, but the sightings date back before that dam was made to when the old dam was there. We have sightings way before this was made. So I mean, it could have been in there, and then when they dug it up, I guess he was hiding somewhere. Who knows? Under. I mean, they didn't suck the whole fucking river out. They just made this bigger lake and flooded the area. He could have been hiding in some underground cave or something.
Absolutely. There's a lot of underground waterways that people don't know about. It's very possible that he was in there.
Yeah, I like Raystown Ray. I think he's very interesting. I would like to go out there and check him out and see if we can get a nice picture like some of these pictures that I've seen in here.
And you know what? I don't want to fight him because all the pictures I'm seeing of him, like people like make T-shirts and shit. He's a cute little guy.
This is what I'm saying. I don't think you can fight him anyway. Well, first of all, he seems to be vegetarian or something. He only eats plant-like material. He doesn't eat, fish, geese, other wildlife. No, it doesn't attack people. It doesn't seem. No one's been attacked by it. So, but on the other hand, I don't think you'd be able to take him in a fight. One, he's in the water. So are you going to drag him on land, or are you going to take the fight to the water?
I'll take it to the water.
So when you take the fight to the water, can't he just fucking drown your ass?
I could try. But I don't know. I wouldn't be able to hit him. It'd be like punching a cow. It's too cute.
He's 60 feet long.
Look at his little head.
I still, yeah, but if it came down to life or death,
Life or death, I'd fucking roundhouse him in that
but
cute little noggin.
I don't think you could take him. He is 60 feet long. God knows how big, how heavy he is. He's aquatic. You're in the water with him. You have no lung capacity in relation to what his lung capacity is. You're going to be drowned. He could just smack you away, break your leg, break your back, you drown. I think this one is one that you're done in by. You cannot beat him.
I don't know. I feel like a couple strategic stabs to the side, all along his body. I feel like it would tire him out.
Actually, well, because he might not engage in attacking you first unless he feels threatened. So I guess if you can get the element of surprise with stabbing.
Or, and this is the big or. Have you ever played Super Mario 64?
Yeah, like 100 years ago.
You remember the giant aquatic creature that you could swim and you like drop kick its back and his head goes down so you could climb on top of it and control where he goes?
Vaguely.
I could make Raid Town Ray mine.
That's what you're going to do.
I'm going to drive him around.
You know what? I take it back. You might have a chance.
Yeah, I think my plan is foolproof. I don't know.
I think you have a chance. You're absolutely right.
Debunked.
Debunked that you couldn't beat him. All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. He's definitely my favorite on here, though. He's something I'd want to see.
Oh, I would love to see that. That'd be amazing.
Not like the last one that we're going to talk about.
Well, before we get to him, let me.
Well, there's multiple ones.
Oh. Let me talk about the Pennsylvania Thunderbird.
Yeah.
This is something that's rooted in Native American mythology, and they often depict it as a giant bird-like creature that the body's like 5 foot in length, the head is 3 foot long, but the wingspan is like 10 to 30 feet. And it's when it flaps its wings, it sounds like thunder. Like that's how big they are. And apparently it could shoot lightning out of its eyes. But that's just what I've heard. There's been a lot of sightings. One of which was in 2001. There's a 19-year-old boy driving on the highway in Route 119, and he just heard the sounds of it sounded like flags flapping in the wind, and he kind of glanced up and he saw a giant bird flying overhead. And then there was another woman who said that the shadows of it covered her car completely and made her duck and cover. But I watched a special on it recently, and I had mentioned this to Joe earlier before we started recording. The people that they interviewed couldn't have been less credible. They all had the same type of story where it's I was just outside grilling and I saw the big bird fly overhead and it flew away, and I was like, wow. And that was the whole story. That's what every single person said about this giant fucking bird.
You know what this reminds me of? Remember the first episode of Pokemon when Ash goes out and he sees Ho-Oh, and it's not even part of the original 151 Pokemon, and he takes his Pokedex out and he's like, "What's that?" And it's like, "This Pokemon hasn't been identified yet."
Yes.
Remember that in that's what this reminds me of. I don't know why, I just see it.
Yeah, it could easily just be a class of pterodactyl that never went extinct.
That's more believable.
Well, yeah.
I guess, yeah, it could be.
That or it's a Pokemon. I don't know.
Let's say it's a Pokemon,
I
but
would love
it
for it to
reminds
be.
me of it.
Would love for it to be a Pokemon.
Because then they're like, "Oh, Ash, you're a moron. That thing doesn't exist." But he literally saw it. Like, yeah, and
I
we
wish
saw it.
I wish they talked like that on that show. Ash, no, you're fucking stupid, man. Just shut up.
Don't even start on that show. He's what is he 10? And they kick him out and to just go fend for himself and fucking.
Yeah, good parenting.
His dad's just always at the gym by himself, and his mom's like, "All right, yeah, take your running shoes with you. I'll see you." And yeah,
Ash had a
that's
dad.
it.
Did he?
Yeah, he was the trainer. He was at the Pokemon gym, the like 8th badge or something.
I don't know. I just thought that the Mr. Mime that his mother had helping with the chores played some part in it. Anyway.
That's a different. That's a. I think you were watching the wrong Pokemon.
Well, no, you know what? I don't think I'm wrong because his mom had light brown hair. Ash's hair was jet black, and so was Mr. Mime. So fuck you. Debunked. Ash Ketchum's father's a Mr. Mime. Anyway, we find the hard hitting facts on this show, people.
We do. We discover the secret ingredients, and that is one of them right there.
That's one of them, ruining childhoods, one show at a time. Oh.
So, do we want to get into the softest fucking cryptid in the world?
Please do. I'm excited.
So, this cryptid, I don't know. I don't know where they came up with this, why they have it. It's called the squonk. Okay. And it's as bad as it sounds. If you think it sounds bad, it's actually worse than it sounds. So this squonk is described as being a shy creature with ill-fitting, warty, moley skin. Like there's warts and moles all over its skin, and it's ill-fitting, so it's real loose and saggy. Like if you watched Austin Powers when Fat Bastard gets the liposuction.
Oh,
That I'm assuming that's what they mean by this. So ill-fitting skin, it's deeply self-conscious. So I don't know how they're getting in his head or how they know what it's thinking as a cryptid, but it's deeply self-conscious and unhappy. Now, because of how ugly it is, it's always crying because it thinks it's hideous. It thinks itself is hideous. And there's more than one. So there is more than one. It isn't just one. There's a couple of them. There's a few. So it's always crying, and you could track it because when it's crying, it leaves a trail of tears wherever it goes. Just goes fucking boom, tears everywhere. Now, it only comes out at night because it likes the dark. It doesn't want to see itself. And if it's a bright, like a full moon, bright moonlit night, it will not come out because it doesn't want to catch a glimpse of its ugliness in a reflection in water or something because it doesn't like it. It thinks it's fucking... It hates itself. And its defense mechanism. So it doesn't attack anyone. Nothing happens. It doesn't do anything. Its defense mechanism is if you corner it, you walk up to it, it literally dissolves into a pool of its own tears to evade being captured.
so it just bums you out and disappears?
It's just absolutely disgraceful, disgusting pig.
Oh, don't be mean to him. Jesus.
So, I mean, it's mean to itself. It is a pig-like creature. That's what they say. With terrible skin. That's very loose-fitting. And apparently, there's a book. I don't know why they would I don't know why he'd be in this particular book, but he's in Fearsome Creatures of Lumberwoods. He's not fearsome. They talk about how he has webbed toes only on its left 2 feet. Its right is not webbed. So it's kind of weird. And its scientific, quote-unquote, name is, how do we pronounce it? Lacrimacorpus dissolvens, which is Latin for tearful body that dissolves. They gave it a scientific name. Yes, because why wouldn't they do that? Also, Genesis in 1976 wrote a song called Squonk about this particular cryptid.
It's just if Debbie Downer was a cryptid.
Yeah.
Just bums you out. Dissolves.
It just dissolves. So they do have, well, they have Squonkapalooza. If you want to go check this out, they started in 2020. It looks like they started doing them in 2023. So Squonkapalooza, if you want to go to one, check them out. I believe it's August, towards the end of August in 2025. And they'll have some kind of, they'll have musical they have festival, they have music, cryptid lore, and it's in Johnstown. Yes, Johnstown, Pennsylvania. So, if you want a fucking sad-looking pig object that's not really scary or anything at all, and you like that kind of thing, you can go to Squonkapalooza and check them out.
Yeah, it's free admission. Open from 10 a.m. I'm going to give it a plug. Open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the Bottle Works Ethnic Center, August 2nd, 2025.
Oh, August 2nd, okay. Yeah, so now apparently a woman discovered a stillborn squonk in the woods. And I sent you a picture of it.
Yes,
I could post that picture on X. What do you make of the stillborn squonk?
I feel bad for it. I can't.
Kind of.
I don't know. It's so upsetting. And I'm looking at it, and it. God damn it.
and just to let you know, this year, there is now a cryptocurrency about the squonk on the Solana blockchain. So if you want some crypto and not Doge, squonk may be your answer.
That's right. Is there a fancy new yacht you have your eye on? Invest in Squonk.
Squonk. He's in multiple books too, which is funny. Now, apparently a bunch of... Now the thing is, some people say that the squonk was made to put into words or put into a cryptid or some kind of thing about life as a Pennsylvania lumberjack in the late 19th century to the late 1800s and the early 1900s. That apparently lumberjacks back then were fucking hideous people who hated themselves and cried all the time. So that's kind of a weird way to put it, but that's what they're trying to say.
It's hidden a little too close for home. Anyway.
Yeah, there's really no other pictures besides that stillborn one. He's in multiple books. Like Fearsome Critters, he's in that book. So that's Henry H. Tyron's Fearsome Critters, if you want to look it up from there. And I don't like. Not that I don't like it. I don't know. I just don't like this thing. Just looking at like even the flyers for Squonkapalooza, like it just makes you like depressed.
It's upsetting. The one it's a squonk face on the body of Bob Ross, and it's got like it's got the paint set, and it's just crying, and it's really upsetting. God damn it!
I wonder if there's there's probably no movie about the squonk.
I wouldn't
It's
watch.
just a song. Just a song. Genesis.
Genesis, of all people. I think we should go to Squonkapalooza and set up a booth.
Oh yeah?
A podcast from Squonkapalooza.
We would do a live podcast from Squonkapalooza.
Yeah, we'll do a live show. Hey everybody, welcome to Squonkapalooza. Are you upset? So are we.
I thought we were going to do a booth somewhere where you just fight cryptids.
We should do that. You know how? Oh my God! You know how many people would come to see me fight mythological creatures? Oh,
And you'd beat them all?
I'd kick the shit out of all of them. Are you kidding me? Oh,
This is...
except the squonk. I wouldn't fight it on principle.
Well, you can't. It would just disappear into a pool of tears before you even got near it. It's kind of like Mothman. So, like, if you went to go fight Mothman, he would know danger's coming and fly away, because that's what he does, apparently. Yes. This thing would just, as soon as you went to hit it, it would just pour into a ball of tears on the ground and just done. Now, I don't, they don't really talk about it, but do you think this thing comes back, or is it dead? It's just, tears done, it's over with. Or do you think it eventually morphs back out of its tears like a phoenix rising from the ashes and just lives to be another miserable fucking day in the woods of wherever the fuck it's from?
I think it would be too depressed to come back. I think it's a one and done.
You say you think it is? It's from, they inhabit, there's multiple ones. They inhabit the hemlock forests of northern Pennsylvania. So, one and done, huh? Just tears done.
Yeah. And, like, I would love to go check them out, but I just don't want to be depressed, you know?
It's true.
It's like you just go up and you find a bunch of pig creatures crying and covered in warts. I'm good. I'll stay home.
Ill-fitted skin.
Ill-fitted skin. Why is it... The whole thing just describes me, and it's really upsetting. God damn it.
You can't say that. It's not right.
You've seen me. I
don't think your skin's ill-fitting.
It's not snug, I'll tell you that.
And
look, I float easily. That's all I'm saying. Anyway.
Oh, no. Well, so from here, we got the cryptids back. I know people wanted to hear cryptids. Josh can obviously fight most of them. I don't think he's fighting... We can't fight this. It'll destroy it. So he can't lose to it, but he can't win. Definitely, Racetown Ray would probably kick the shit out of Josh. Would probably drown him.
I just don't agree.
That's my theory on Josh fighting Racetown Ray, and it's because it's my favorite one in Pennsylvania. Not my favorite one overall, but my favorite one in Pennsylvania. He's pretty cool. The pictures actually are pretty convincing. It's a pretty good job by those. It's better. I'll give him this. The picture that they got of the Racetown Ray is better than the picture someone took of the Jersey Devil on Route 9, where he's like just a goat cropped into a picture at an angle.
That's the realest one they got of him. What are you talking about? That's as clear as it gets, my friend. Just a goat at perfect 75-degree angle floating upwards.
Yeah, but it doesn't even look like it's attempting to fly. It's not... Okay. Anyway, next recording. Were we going to go a little unsolved mystery?
Yeah, I think we're gonna go a little darker with it. There's a particular cold case here in New Jersey, not that far from where I live, anyway. But we'll get into it next time. It's been mentioned on a few other shows, but it is, it's still a cold case. It was back in the 70s, and it's still not solved.
Yes, very, very, a lot of weird stuff going on. Some would say some kind of supernatural cult-like, maybe witchcraft or something could have been possible in this case. So we can dive into that, see if we can figure out our own theories, our own reasons, and try, see if we can come up with an answer that makes the most sense. Then the common answer now is that it's unsolved. We don't know what it is. We don't know what happened to her.
We'll get into that for sure. There is so much information with that case. It's insane.
Now, to defend our Call of Duty expert, I just wanted to I just wanted to mention something. He does have a mic. The mic that he uses is for the PS5. That's why he's able to play Call of Duty. So it's not quite debunked. I understand what we were trying to do, but it's not quite debunked. He doesn't have a PC because he's a slug. I don't know. So he was using his phone to join our virtual, recording conference room. The PlayStation mic that he has doesn't work with the phone, so that's why he had to get a different mic, because the mic he had was earphones and it just fucking clipped the shit out of our audio that we recorded for an hour and a half. So this new mic is probably sitting, like Josh mentioned, in a box on his living room coffee table. Obviously he's not been listening, because he would understand why he's still catching flack about the episode. So if you listen to each of our episodes recently, but yeah, it's neither here nor there. I'm gonna have to make him listen. But eventually, I think, are we gonna do that episode?
I feel like we have to at this point. I mean, he has no idea how many people are furious with him.
When you get direct messages on X saying that he's the worst, where is he? How does he not have a mic? When you get comments that, it's a conspiracy that he even exists.
That's a good conspiracy.
I guess we have to bring him on to debunk the conspiracies that he doesn't exist. And it does suck, because we did have a decent episode. I thought I came to conclusions by listening to his explanations and stuff. That was like a light bulb moment, and it kind of sucks you won't have the exact time of me finding that if we go back to it. But at the end of the day, I guess we should kind of do it to kind of settle the skill-based systems that Call of Duty has enacted in their games, and what's real and what's not.
Yeah, we got to talk to him, because how many episodes have we talked about him? Fucking 8 or 9?
Well, this will be our 13th episode now, and he was supposed to be on the fourth episode.
Pretty sure it was the 4th, yeah.
So yeah, this will be the 9th episode since we were supposed to do it that we talked about him.
And he's just sitting at home, just he's just living a life of leisure. Not an ounce of urgency in his body. Doesn't want to plug that mic in or test it or anything. I mean, we had a good show with him, but his mic, he might as well have called in on a payphone, unusable. So
payphone would have had better audio.
You know what? Probably just all you would hear is just him putting more coins in the background. But we'll talk to him. We'll get it. We'll get it. Don't worry.
All right. Well, until next time, guys. I hope we'll get that nice murder mystery one out to you and see if we can come up with our own conclusions on that. And maybe the Call of Duty episode will come some point or whatever. If you want even more cryptids, we can pick another state, or you guys can tell us a state or a country, whatever you want to hear more cryptids from, and then we'll just look into them, research them, and get an episode out to you for them. And I think because people like cryptids, they do.
They do, and I'm happy about that, because there are a shit ton of them in our great nation, and I want to fight every one of them.
And if there's a cryptid that has a movie, we'll talk about the movie too. Kind of like Krampus.
Oh, I would love to talk about Krampus. We got to do a Krampus episode.
So we may do a Krampus episode as well, besides this Unsolved Mystery. But the Unsolved Mystery is interesting, and I really kind of do want to see if I can find my own answers to this unsolved cold case and see if we can come up with something. But Krampus might be coming your way too.
Oh, Krampus coming your way. We're just in time for Well, not Christmas. We're a little late on it, but
But yeah, the movie, again, I didn't watch the movie. Did you watch the movie?
The movie's fucking great, dude. Oh my god.
The movie's good. Again, I did not watch it. Maybe I'll watch it, but I heard the whole movie while driving for work from another podcast, which I mentioned in another episode, Fear and Wine. They did a Krampus episode. I listened to the whole movie because they like to discuss movies. That's their thing. So I listened to the movie through their point of view, and I thought it was interesting, but weird with the grandma all at the same time. So we'll get all that to you. Hopefully we'll start, I know we say it every time, but maybe we'll start doing 2 a week, and hopefully we can get 2 a week. It's just our schedules are kind of hectic.
Yeah. I'll mention it. I know no one really gives a shit, but this one was a little delayed because, as you know, I have 3 cats. And
Yes.
I was leaving for work the other morning, and I opened my front door, and there's just 2 8-week-old kittens just on my doorstep. So now I have 5 cats.
And so we have 4 cats, and he tried to pawn them off on us to make 6 cats. And I'm like, well, how can I have 3 kids and 6 cats? It can't, I don't know if it can work. Now, obviously my wife would say yes for that in a heartbeat, but I know you want to keep those cats together. So all the best to you with those.
Thank you. They've been here 3 days, and they're already the most spoiled cats in the world. So,
do they get along with the other cats yet, or we don't know yet?
Not yet. We're still keeping them separated until we get them their shots, and then we'll gradually introduce them.
Okay, I got you now. All right. If you want to hear more about Josh's cats too, we can let you know in another episode. See how they're going along. See how they're aging and progressing, and maybe we'll know if they get along with the other cats.
I'm sure everyone is clamoring to hear about that. So,
all right. Well, until our next recording with the Unsolved Mystery, I'll see you guys later.
Be sure to drink your Ovaltine.
It's true. That's why the squonk was so miserable with his life. No Ovaltine in his system.
Unbelievable.
Bye, guys.
Bye.